It is 935 K-Days Morning Show with your boy Romeo on this terrific Tupac Taco Tequila Tuesday. I'm see if Simone can say that for me 10 times real quick. I'm just kidding.
I was like, run that back for me one more time.
Yo, I am honored to have you on this show for so many reasons because I've learned a lot about you before having you come on. So thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, as we say back in the day, a jack of all trades. I mean, you have many talents. And I almost feel like that's something that's necessary. When I watch Bel-Air, you know, I see what you do. I see what Coco do. Is it required to have all these talents? Like, seriously.
They didn't ask me to sing or anything, so I didn't even think they knew until the middle of season 1.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So let's start there because we're going to get to the music, but let's take this journey because, honestly, my wife and I, we were at home and we heard about it. Now, we watched the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Of course.
So, obviously, and some people may have felt this way when this one came out. They were like, is it going to be the same? How is it going to pick up? I'm trying to figure it out. So we were late on it. But once we got into it, we binge watched, we caught up, and your character we fell in love with.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, you had a lot going on. And you can swim. Well, it's good.
And she can swim. It's so crazy. No, she does have a lot going on. And I'm really excited for this next season because we get to see a new side of Lisa that we haven't.
So taking on that character when you knew what it was, what was some of the hardest thing maybe to adapt or to emotionally tap into?
Absolutely. I'm really grateful to have both my parents in my life. So I think the biggest switch was just the reminder that she had lost her mother.
Yeah.
And how that plays into her life. But other than that, she's really trying to just run with the boys out there, for sure.
Living her best life. I'm not mad at that.
Trying her best.
So you're on the set, and obviously, you know, Will Smith, he pops in from time to time. I feel like he does. I mean, I see the visuals out there.
Yeah.
What is that like when you're with some of the people that are from the original cast?
Wow, it's an honor, honestly. And to have them come with so much grace and kindness, you know, you kind of expect, you know, maybe you could treat me any kind of way because we're in your, you know, it's your IP.
Yeah.
But they come with such just love and appreciation, and it's so great to learn from them.
Yeah, agree. Yeah. Simone hanging out with the K-Day Morning Show, and look, you've done that. So we're talking TV. Yeah. You've been on the big screen.
Yes.
You're also an artist. Which one is the hardest one mentally to tap into when it comes to being on the set? Because in the studio, you can record a song maybe in one night if things go well.
For sure.
TV is some stop and go. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Somebody hit you with a track, you might go like, hey, let me write to this right away.
Mm-hmm.
So which one is easy for you to tap into? Or which one is like, you know, you have to have patience because of the way it's done?
Movies. Actually, TV. You have to have patience.
Even more so than movies?
I think so, because movies, I can memorize the entire script like a play. And then you can kind of tap in and out of it. I know exactly where I am emotionally because we kind of go based on location sometimes. Yeah. But TV, it's so much hurry up and wait. And so sometimes you'll have a really big scene and you'll be like, oh, like almost there. And they'll be like, stop, we're going to hold for lights. Thank you. And then it's just, you have to wait and like hold that moment. And then there's so much else going on. And then you have to tap back in. So I think the art of tapping back in is what I had to get my steep learning curve moment on. Yeah.
But when it comes to studio, when going in and making that music, how rewarding is that? Maybe hearing the outcome the same night, but just seeing it build from the vocals to writing to stacking the hook.
Yeah.
What's that journey like for you?
I've just fallen in love with the process. I've been in love with music since you hear it, and since I knew it could change you and shape you in different ways. But being in LA the past 3 years, I mean, just being in studios and different producers and different musicians and learning just how structure and motion and vibe just impact a song. And also listening to the girls who are out here like Doechii and Sabrina Carpenter and Coco, like it's all just magic. You're just tapping into the divine and like putting it into sound. It's crazy.
And I look at it as more motivating for you because obviously I've heard your vocals, so you got the skills, so we know that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure you're inspired by some of them, but you have these talents in all these fields. Which one was your true first love? Was it music or was it something else?
It's music.
It is music.
Yeah, it's music. I've been singing my whole life. My mama sang in the church in choir.
Okay.
And so did I. because she's not getting a babysitter on Wednesday nights.
Not on Wednesday nights, no.
I know, Wednesday night church, Saturday night church, that whole thing. Yeah, and then, you know, my parents are just like 80s down, so that's all we would listen to. So I was listening to like Prince and Michael Jackson and Tina Turner and all these people, and I was just like, just so captivated from a young age.
And that's what's so dope, because I've seen you in another interview where you were talking about some of the artists that you love and that you listen to, and your name, like your variety, was just like, yo, like. But that's, to me, that's great, because that doesn't mean you just in some box. You know what I'm saying? You like all different genres of music, which means a lot, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, let's talk about putting this song together, short notice. How did that come about? How did that magic come about?
Oh my gosh, I was in Atlanta with a producer and writer named Alex, and he has a new project out, which is amazing. And it was my second time in Atlanta, and we just caught a vibe. And I mean, I was short notice. We were just thinking about old habits that we might want to let go, or just something sexy and fun. I was like, my whole catalog right now is just very milky and sweet, and I was like, I want some punch, I want some dance, and I want something sexy and fun. And so that's what we were kind of riding off of.
And was it done a day, a couple of days?
It was done in a day. It was our last day in the studio, so we were like, we got to go.
So, almost like a short notice, last minute. It could have been called last minute then.
Last minute. Oh, for real. But the song was just about that person that could just get you with a phone call. You'd be like, I'm super busy, but I got 30 minutes and I'm coming over.
I love that. I love that. That says enough right
there.
Yeah, not mad at that at all. So what you're accomplishing so much already, what's some of the other goals that you want to, like what still inspires you and motivates you? You're young. You're having a lot of success, so congratulations on that. But
Thank
what
you.
keeps you motivated and want to maintain that?
I mean, my family.
Yeah.
Always just behind me no matter what. I mean, I've been auditioning since I was 8 years old. I've been professionally working since I was 9 years old.
Okay.
So it's been a journey. It's been a beautiful journey. But I remember when my first Broadway show closed, I came back home and I was like, just so like, ugh, Dad. And he was just like, it's time to get a new dream. And so I feel like that's been, every time I reach a goal, like, oh, time to get a new dream.
Yeah.
So I feel like my new dream is touring and maybe headline tour, but opening for someone that I would really, really love. So we'll stay tuned for that.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to ask you. So if you had an opportunity to do a duet with a certain person, whether it's a rap artist, a singer, what would be that perfect duo you would love?
Duo. Well, let's have
Duet,
Beyonce in
duo.
the God tier moment.
Okay.
If she would do that, I would just say that for her for sure. She has that. But I'm like, who would I really? I mean, I'm a big fan of Willow.
Okay.
I think I would really love to do duet stuff with her. That'd be really cool.
She's fun.
She's really fun.
Yeah. I love
Also,
the energy.
Jalen Josie.
Not mad at that.
Not mad at that at all. That's a singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about if you're on stage? We see Denzel Washington. He's back doing things like
Oh,
on stage.
yes,
So if you had the
Othello.
opportunity to be back on stage again on the big screen with someone you haven't had a chance to work with, I love hearing these stories.
Ooh. Robert Downey Jr.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Less Than Zero. I'm going back to that. That was one of my favorite movies back in the day.
Right?
Yeah,
Robert
Mr. Iron Man himself.
Yes, absolutely. Him, he's an actor that inspires me a lot. And I think it would be super, super funny to do some comedy with also Tim Robinson. Do you like I Think You Should Leave?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite shows.
What?
I would love to do sketch comedy with him.
That is so dope. I mean, okay, seeing the character on Bel-Air and now getting a chance to talk to you, Simone, I'm really getting the real deal, for real.
Yes.
I love that. I really do that. I love that about you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And now with this success that you've been having, has it given you a chance to see a lot of the world, you know, as far as traveling, stamping that passport? Like, you've been to a certain place that you've always wanted to go to, or that's on your list, your wish list?
Yes. I mean, actually, the first time I went somewhere that I was like, oh my God, blew my mind was Greece, an island called Amargos. But I took that was my first break that I ever took away from acting, because I've been working every summer on a show. I've been in school. I've been working. So when I knew we had 2 seasons that we were guaranteed, I was like, okay, I'm gonna dip off for like a month. And I got my yogurt, LOL, my yoga teacher license. Not my yogurt teacher license.
You got a license to eat yogurt? What we doing?
I know. Oh my goodness. So that's, I think, the farthest I've been. But I need to do some more traveling. Where I would really love to go, I really want to go to Italy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like wherever you go, you're going to have fun, though.
Yeah, for sure.
You're going to have a good time. And I love the fact that you stay so busy. Look, you try and get that time to yourself, but to be in this business, it does require you sometime to be busy 365 days of the year.
Absolutely.
I got a son who's very talented. Okay. Yeah, he get it from his daddy. I said it. But he's 13, but he's stuck in the game. Now, you've been at it since 9.
Yeah.
So I try, what is something I can say to him, or what would you say to those kids that gets distracted about everyday life, but yet they have these talents that they can really like just tune into and do something with it at an early age? What would be your message to them? Listen right now, Malachi.
Well, first of all, I would say take it easy, because the distractions that are now, I didn't have growing up at all.
Okay.
And they're intense.
Very.
Like social and everything. But I would say the more work you put in now, the less work you have to put in later. Or like it's different work, but it's work that you've built on as a kid.
I like that.
Yeah. So once you build a strong foundation and you work hard and put that down, then you get to build a nice castle on that.
Yeah, I agree. So we're in the world of social media. It is what it is. We love it, and we also hate it.
Yeah.
Because it gives us a chance to show our talents and promote ourselves. But also, you have the comments that come in and what people say. How do you block that out, or how do you even react or respond to those types of things?
That's a good one. Bel-Air was the first time I had been on such a huge platform, and we were coming out of 2020, and it's all da-da-da. But I had to figure out what I believe about myself, because then people can say anything.
Yeah.
But it's about what you align with. So sometimes I was looking at comments and I was feeling away, and I was like, wait, do I believe that about myself? No. Okay.
And it was easy just to be like, okay, on to the next.
Yeah. People was like, she's a blue alien. Be like, I'm not though. Like, you know what I mean? So people can say anything. So I really had to narrow down and lock down what I believe about myself. And some of those I had to be like, woo. Yeah. It was some work. But that's what I would say.
Well, you might help me out in this situation, because I'm one that I don't particularly read comments, because to me, I don't care about it. But do you think it's something I should do from time to time because it could help me out? Or do you think it's something, there's enough people in my circle where I get the criticism there and I don't have to lean on the comments?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't listen to comments. Those people aren't paying your bills at all.
Thank you. Because there's some people that come to me and be like, yo, you should read the comments, see what people have to say. I'm like, I'm good. I'm on to the next one. Like, what's up?
Maybe they go through a filter first.
Okay.
Because people just say anything on the internet.
True.
I don't know. Well, I mean, what would they be saying?
Well, I don't know what they would possibly be saying, because I don't read them.
You don't read? You said not at all.
I'm good. I promise you I don't. But other people will, and they'll be like, well, they said that. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Right.
Haters gonna hate. We're gonna keep doing what we do out here.
That's what I think.
I love that. Well, let's get back to your music.
Okay.
Now, we're talking about some of the songs that you've done.
Yes.
Do you the creating process of writing it? Do you love being a part of that? Or are you open to outside people coming in and writing for you as well? Like if it was in your way, you put this whole album together, what would the percentage be where you would love to write all of it or some of it? What would that look like?
Oh, wow. Great question. This last album that I have, Magnet, I wrote everything with people who are in the room, you know? And mostly because I was like, I didn't even know you could get writers low key at first. I didn't really know that was a real big part of the process until later on. Right. I thought everybody was just writing their music. Not completely, but, and some writers are just hard to get and there's a different synergy that you have to have in the room. Yeah. But I'm super open, and now my new project, I will have some writers, because there are people who are so gifted with their pen that it would be criminal for you not to be on my track. Yeah.
And you could be inspired and learn from this is how they do it.
Absolutely. And great writers translate your ideas in such a a beautiful way. Sometimes it's song structure. Sometimes it's just massaging the idea because the idea is right, but the way we make it feel and sound, they're just really good at that.
Yeah.
So I adore gifted writers. I feel like they're like the potent source.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you 100%. So what's the time frame on the new project that you're talking about?
I'm really excited. I am holding off on time frame stuff because I just want everything to be together first. But I will be dropping singles first.
Good. Give us that.
I have a new song called Waiting and Heels coming out soon. Okay. Waiting is with Alex. He wrote that one with me. So sick. I'm very excited. That's a more neo soul vibe. And then Heels is like a hyperpop moment.
Okay.
So we'll have some fun.
I love your variety, and I have you here, so let's talk about it. Bel-Air. Are we looking? Is it coming soon? We have something to look forward to?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. We're filming soon, next month.
Okay.
And it's been a joy. We've already known the storylines, and we're talking with the writers and having all the sets built. So I'm so excited. It's our last season.
I'm not excited about that part, but yeah.
I know. It's such a blessing knowing that it's our last season. A lot of shows don't have that luxury.
True. That's true.
So being grateful for that. And, we get to like close our story with dignity, not like, oh, no, what do we do?
True. Yeah.
So it's nice. I feel like it's been like another school experience. We had like freshman, sophomore, junior, now we got senior year again. So. Well,
once again, congratulations on everything. And you are amazing when I see you on TV.
Thank you.
You light up a room when you come in here. Like, you are a star. You are what you are. So I know there's more to come from you. And you're welcome to come back to K-Day anytime.
Okay. I'll be back
clear
tomorrow.
on that. Oh, she said I'll be back tomorrow. Okay. I'll have something for you to do, though.
Okay.
Believe that. Real quick before we go, you ever sang the national anthem?
I have sang the national anthem.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Good. And the reason why I asked that because some people are scared. They shy away from that. So I was just
My mom hammered that into me early.
Good.
My favorite national anthem is Whitney Houston's. What's your favorite?
Oh, I gotta say Whitney. I mean,
that's
what
the
she
one.
did that day, oh my God.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Anything rival it for you, or you have a solid second place?
I mean, if you really want to go back, if you look it up, you can see what Marvin Gaye did.
Okay.
For the NBA Finals on that time, how he flipped it. I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that either.
I did it the other day for the Clippers. I kind of like the way I did
What?
it. So, yeah. So,
I got to look that up.
That's a light flex, you know what I'm saying? But that's the reason why I asked, because people really, they're like, yo, you really do that? But I love doing it, and I love the challenge.
Yeah.
And I knew you were someone that can handle that.
My mama made me learn that early. She was like, you got to do the national anthem.
Come on now.
And you got to be ready.
Yeah.
I remember I did it on like the side of this 5K in Texas. It was so hot. I was like, oh,
were you sweating?
I was sweating, but I ate down. It was good.
Hey, I know you knocked it out. Just like you're going to do this new project, just like you're going to do the final season of Bel-Air and everything else you do moving forward.
Thank you.
Simone hanging out the K-Day Morning Show. That's what we do.